Welcome to your guided meditation for the full moon in Virgo. We are coming here together to combine meditation with the astrology for the zodiacal signs and the moon phases. This is simply to allow ourselves the opportunity to work with these energies and work with the releasing of any of the inner blockages we may be experiencing that are locked within the confines of our psyche, that may be holding us back in certain areas in our lives. And so to be here, we have to allow the ego to take a back seat as we fully embrace our abilities to connect with our higher selves here in this space. But before we start, I do want to share just a little bit about this actual moon phase and just a little bit about the actual sign we'll be meditating on. Honoring the luminaries of our skies, it truly opens us up to this sense of existential understanding of the value with which meditating during these moon phases teaches us, as it teaches us how to focus and how we can use the power of our focus to unlock and surrender to this wisdom that's stored in the cellular memories of our DNA. So of itself, the moon doesn't really go through any phases. It's just a rock. We don't actually see the moon itself as this luminary body. We see the solar light to which the body reflects from the sun, but it's only within this light of the moon that carries and varies the different phases. The changes aren't actually the moon itself. It's only relative to the phase of the relationship between the sun and the moon. This is the ultimate dance between these two. Call it the soli-lunar dance. And so, as the sun releases its energy, radiating its light and life sustenance, the moon absorbs and distributes the power of the solar rays wherever it's needed to meet the demands of the living organism that we exist on, right? We call her Earth, we call her Gaia. But our planet is always striving to maintain, reproduce, expand, or transform itself in some way. And it's this dynamic expression of the relationship between the sun and the moon. It's within this interplay between these ultimate polarities or forces, if you will, that have always existed, whether it's yin, yang, positive, negative, masculine, feminine, sun, moon. It's always in transit, and it is definitely relative to this entire bipolar experience we identify as life. So the lunation cycle extends from one new moon to the next, and it's in this cycle of the constant changing relationship between the sun and the moon, the solar and lunar forces, that not only affects the earth, but also every earthly nature within every human being on our planet, whether we're conscious of it or not. It's usually at the apex of the moon cycle that's reached at the peak of the full moon that actually affects the tides of our planet. It affects the tides of our planet no differently than the tides of our emotional bodies. And so this is where we're at now. And how we know we're at the halfway mark of Pisces season as we meet the full moon now in the sign of Virgo. So the sun is in the opposite sign in Pisces. Right. Pisces is the water sign. It's the sign that rules the emotional realms. This is the I believe, therefore I am sign. And so the moon is directly opposite of the sun at this time in the sign of Virgo, the opposite of Pisces. And this is the earth sign that rules the physical realm. This is the I analyze, therefore I am sign. And so it's the dynamics of this full moon that brings in the pull between the intuitive mind, which is Pisces, versus the logical mind, which is Virgo. And where we're being called to attune into the finding of a balance with this moon is between the cosmic and the mundane of our daily lives. So, grounding the emotional energies becomes the main priority during the entire Pisces season. And this can be accomplished by applying a certain level of detachment to our environment. You have to detach and not allow yourself to get swarmed up in the ocean of Pisces, right? You have to apply a certain level of detachment to the environment. And the best way to use this is by the creative faculties of one's mind. You know, it was Einstein that called this part of the mind the imagination, right? As being the most creative faculties. I think his quote goes something like, imagination is more important than knowledge. It's more important than knowledge. Knowledge being that it's limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination actually embraces the entire experience, right? All there will ever be to know and understand. And so we are in the sign of Virgo with this full moon, and Virgo is known as the goddess of the harvest. And the goddess of the harvest's main function lies strictly in her ability to separate the wheat from the chaff. Separate the wheat from the shaft. What does that mean? It is the sorting through. It's Virgo season where she's taking the wheat and she's sorting it out and she's throwing out what's shit and holding on to what's valuable. Right? That's her sole job. And it's interesting because, like all other mutable signs, I believe all the mutable signs are the most misunderstood sign because of their mutabilityness, right? Their malleableness, their interchangeableness. I'll go deeper into this act, the characteristics of Virgo at the new moon phase. But for now, the key point to understand about Virgo, like in the seasonal realm, she's the goddess of the harvest. But in the body, Virgo rules the intestines. So here, obviously, it's all about the intricate details of the job the intestines do, which is to, right, absorb and digest what's nutrient and to defecate and eliminate what's toxic. It's pretty simple. The intestines are also known to carry messages to other parts of the body, that play a significant role in fighting off germs and regulating, the absorption of electrolytes within the body's water balance. And so you can see why people take the energy of Virgo so personally. As a Virgo, I'm really trying not to be biased here, but I can get on my own nerves most of the time as well. So I think this is a reason why Virgos are the most misunderstood sign and the least liked sign, maybe, because there's a tendency to see the shit in everything, right? There's just a tendency to, because it plays out in the personality, and when it plays out in the personality, people can look at this sign as if it's the Debbie Downer, and if one tends to be falling on the more negative scale, then that can play out. I'm not saying that it can't, and that all Virgos are can't be negative in the most negative state. But what I am saying is that the Virgo personality tends to focus on how things can be perfect, and depending on where their mind state is, it can come off as pretty harsh and kind of cold and kind of cruel. And so they can be identified as really petty. You're paying attention to too many little details of whatever the situation is. And again, like I said, the underlying whole motivation behind Virgo is to try to make it better. That doesn't only apply to outside of themselves, it also applies to the inner side, right? The inner part of themselves, where they have the tendency to find fault, and they can be the worst at this. Like nobody else outside of them can tell them their flaws, because they see it all, they know it all within themselves. And so that's why it's important for this full moon to be careful of your mind space. Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. It governs all things related to the mind. And this is the messenger god, where connection and communication is governed. So it's in the mind that heralds great alchemy. And we know that it can be used as a powerful tool for either constructive or destructive purposes, right? It could be used to create or destroy thyself. And so back in the beginning, when we first went into Pisces, I think mid-February, no, but it was the beginning. I think it was the beginning of February, Mercury began its retrograde in the sign of Pisces. And it seeded the new moon, and this is where we were seeding the attention and intention to open up ourselves collectively to our intuitive natures, right? So that we can allow ourselves to connect to the inner spiritual life that's way beyond this material reality. And so now, with this full moon, we're kind of being asked to come back down to earth a little bit, to hone in on where we are, and trying not to be so hard on ourselves with what we're seeing related to where we are. And I really go into more details about the full moon. I'll leave a link in the description box for my reading if you're interested in, but here we're going to focus on fine-tuning ourselves into the rhythm of this divine soli lunar energy. It's most important at this point to be as comfortable as you possibly can be. So we're going to start at the head space, and we're going to focus our energies all the way down through the soles of our feet. So make any adjustments you need now, where you can be totally relaxed and undisturbed for at least 30 minutes or so. You can feel free to pause the video if you're not able to, and just come back when you're fully ready and able to commit to this time and space to just be with yourself. As a Virgo, I am a Virgo, and I have my Sun conjunct Mercury. Just to let you know, I am highly aware that the act of meditating and quieting the mind can at times seem to be somber. It's difficult, especially for the masses, as the mind space tends to be hyperactive, especially while the moon is in Virgo. But it is the perfect time to be out in nature, listening to the birds, crickets, or the wind through the trees, just enjoying the sun's warmth on your face, feeling and embracing the growing of his light and strength, right? The sun is traveling back up the equator here on the northern hemisphere, and we are beginning to see the sun longer in the sky as this Pisces season ushers us into the spring equinox, right? That's happening, I believe, in the next week and a half or so. So for now, I just want you to breathe and relax, and just take a moment to welcome and congratulate yourself on just being here, just for showing up and actually taking the time to be present with yourself, for having the courage to go deep inside the depths of your unconscious psyche and just appreciate this level of awareness regarding your sense of self. Congratulate yourself on making you a priority. Breathe in. Breathe out. Continuing to relax, you can either close your eyes at this time, if that's comfortable for you, or you can just focus on something, whether in your mind, a flame on the candle, or the moon on the screen. Anything that will allow you to just focus in this time and in this space. I personally like to place the palm of my hand on my heart space, just to assist me with the focusing into the body, honing in and paying attention to the vibration of my heart beating against my hand. There's something magical coming from its center. It's an energetic force that I'm not in control of. None of us are. But whatever it's connected to, we're all connected to it. And it's currently keeping our heart beating. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale through the mouth, allow a big sigh to come through and just feel yourself release into your body. Allow your body to sink in to this exact moment. Breathe in Watch your breathing here, and with intention, begin to slow down your breath as best you can. You're sending the message to the brain to slow down and relax, initiating the relaxation response. Whether you're lying down or sitting, just tune into the weight of your body and allow the natural pull of its gravity to help you relax and let go. Embrace the stillness of this relaxed state. It may take a while to get into, but just breathe into it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Be here now, in this moment, putting all worries and to-do lists aside for now. I want you to picture a full moon, visualizing it in your mind's eye, and trust in its divine light and powerful energy. Then breathe it in, slowly exhaling out through the mouth. Relax. Feel yourself letting go of conscious thought, of worry, tension, and doubt. Remember, your point of attraction lies in your vibration, and this can easily be shifted just by the change of your perception. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your attention into your body. Breathe more deeper here, and with intention, try to bring in more oxygen to enliven your body, relaxing more deeply each time you exhale. Breathing in. Breathe out. Lightly scanning through your entire body. Notice any tightness or tension that you may have. Feel into the sensation there and just acknowledge whatever's there. Allow them to be there. Just simply observe as you continue to breathe calmly. Breathe in. Breathe out. And going down through the whole body, we are going to focus and allow our muscles to relax and let go of whatever we've been holding on to. And so that every time you exhale, you want to allow every part of your body to relax. One body part at a time. Focusing on the head space, I just want you to imagine what it would feel like at the base of your scalp. Those tiny muscles associated with the releasing of each of your hair follicles. Just tune in, and allow these muscles to relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you're inhaling and exhaling, let your face and facial muscles be soft. The tongue, your cheeks, the eyes, eyebrows. Notice the energy here. Let them relax. Relax your face, soften your jaw. The tiny muscles associated within the ear. Notice the energies there. Let them relax. The muscles associated with the neck and the throat. Notice the energy here. Let them relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Moving the consciousness down the body to the shoulder area. Allow them to melt and drop. And notice any sensations in your arms. See if you can soften them to relax all the way into your hands and through your fingertips. Breathe in. Breathe out. Moving the consciousness to the back and chest area. Notice any tension there and allow yourself to release and relax all the muscles in the abdomen, through and into the reproductive and internal organs. Give them permission to relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Moving down the body, focusing in on the pelvis, the tailbone, the hips, the thighs, knees, and calves. Just relax and soften. Allow the muscles of the sole of each foot to soften and relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine spirals of white light opening the energy centers in your feet. The feet chakra. Healing and cleansing and purifying. Breathe it in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath in. And out. Focus back here right now into the chest area where the heart rests. If your hand is still there, just pay attention to the vibrations and the sensations of every beat that thumps against the palm of your hand. Focus in on your breathing here. Focus into it, and then notice how your heart breathes for you. And just try to conjure up a deep sense of appreciation for the divine source connection that's responsible for keeping all of our hearts online at this very moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine a lavender light in your heart space that begins moving down through your entire body, all the way out through the feet. Lavender is the light that's associated with tranquility and calmness. It's delicate and sacred and elegant in nature. Imagine this lavender light moving through your entire body, all the way out, through the feet, through the ground, all the way down to the core center of the earth, Breathe in. Breathe out. Let this light travel, be nurturing and supporting here as you focus, allowing this light to flow through you. Feel into this connection from your heart down to the core of the earth. It's the space where nothing but quartz of crystals exists. So marinate on this energy, on the feeling that this brings in, and notice whatever sensations are there, and just breathe in. Breathe out. Notice your whole body present, feeling your entire body as one unit within one organism, completely connected to the cosmos, totally relaxed into this space. Continue scaling the body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just notice any subtle tensions you may have missed, and just begin to smooth these areas out with intention by visualizing the lavender light in these areas. Breathe in. Breathe out. One of the biggest challenges with this full moon is Virgo's biggest challenge, and that is to eliminate negativity and self-criticism. But we are being guided with this full moon to develop the strength to be more tolerant and accepting of all the imperfections of life, to learn to trust life to run its own way, even when it's not in alignment with our expectation. This is the time for the clearing up of the clutter within the mind. Breathe in. Breathe out. Holding the vision of the full moon in your mind's eye, select any area in your life where you may have been a bit self-critical. A little bit more than a bit. Very self-critical. Wherever you've been very self-critical and hard on yourself, this is their truth coming in. Any negative attitudes and judgments about yourself, be honest about your self-doubting, your self-hating thoughts. Just choose one, and choose one now. I want you to visualize yourself in whatever situation that you chose. I want you to visualize the entire situation surrounded in that divine lavender light. And breathe it in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. We are connecting with our truth, but we are also going to affirm the love that you do have for yourself, and acknowledge that no matter what things may look like, you are presently doing the best that you can with what you know. And you have to give yourself the permission at this time to allow this to be good enough for now. Breathe in. Breathe out. I say, allow it to be good enough for now, because we are always striving for more, and it's natural. But it's not natural to dwell in the negative space of beating ourselves up about anything. And so at this time, I want you to ask your soul or your higher self for any new ideas on how you might want to make it better. And then just expect the answer. During the 2.5 days the moon is in Virgo, Mercury, the messenger, is the ruler of this moon. So your answers are coming. I just want you to affirm at this time, I let go of finding fault with myself and others. I want you to affirm this 3 more times. I let go of finding fault with myself and others. I let go of finding fault with myself and others. I let go of finding fault with myself and others. Breathe in. Breathe out. Continue to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. And just a quick note, it would be a very enlightening experience to take some time after this guided meditation to connect with yourself on a deeper level by writing down the negative judgments that you are holding about yourself. Again, the self-hate, the self-doubting thoughts. And underneath each one, to write, I release the belief that I am, whatever that is, whether it's I am unworthy or not deserving or whatever. I want you to write it and then blaze up a ball of lavender fire in the root chakra and imagine that it is burning all away the obstructions to self-love. And just affirm and say, I release you into the light of this sacred and magical full moon. I no longer need what does not serve or empower me. And as you say this, just imagine each of the things that you have written down, whether they're habits, people, behavior, or thought patterns that you wish to banish and release and disappear into the powerful light of this full moon, and just see them dissolve and float away into the infinite light. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just take as long as you need to do this and visualize everything that's needing to be released from your life. Imagine it being consumed by the burning, powerful light of the silvery moon with all its deep purging abilities. And feel the weight of your burdens released. Feeling light as a feather as you relax and let go. Be gentle with yourself. When inevitable thoughts come in, don't criticize yourself. Instead, see the thoughts as clouds drifting by or as ocean waves ebbing and flowing away. And then you can use this mantra to help you. This mantra goes, under the light of this beautiful, powerful, and healing full moon, I release you from my life with love. I forgive you, and I forgive myself for any past mistakes. Thank you for all the lessons, but now I release you. And after your quiet time, you might want to spend the entire day without saying one critical thought about a person, a situation, and most definitely about yourself, not even in humor. Find the overlooked perfection in your life and practice seeing the beauty and precision of how things are in the moment, not how they would be if they were different. Just feel yourself lifted and renewed as the toxic weight of all you have released disappears. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just focus your mind towards a feeling of gratitude and hone in on that deep appreciation for all that you have and all that is yet to come into your life. Take 3 cleansing breaths through the nose and out the mouth this time. One more. Take your time coming back into the material world within your psyche and just begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. You can slowly begin to open your eyes now if they have been closed. And we're going to close here. I just want to say thank you for listening. It'll be imperative for you to pay attention to any synchronicities and insights that may come up between now and the next moon phase. There's so much psychic energy in the air. Pay close attention and stay centered in your heart space. Drink plenty of water. It's Pisces season. It's all about detoxing and purging. Pay attention to your body when it's signaling you the need for rest. I am sending you lots of love. And until next time, we'll meet again at the next moon phase.